Next up in our Quarantine Talk series, we speak to ex-the Chiefs flyer and Scotland captain Stuart Hogg to see how he's getting on during this lockdown period.
Thanks for having me on, mate. That's tricky times, isn't it? It's never been experiencing anything like this before, so try telling that to the three young kids, but it's all good.
How are you coping being at home with three kids? I mean, that must be a hell of a struggle.
I'm getting very, very good at hide and seek. Managed to, for some reason, Jill actually asked me to get a PlayStation 4 to try and get some time away from her, which has been perfect because the first week or so, I bought the two older kids a remote to play alongside me, but didn't link it up. So they were playing alongside, but had zero influence on what was happening. But it kept them going for a couple of hours, and Jill managed to watch her television. So, but now we're getting into a good routine now, mate. Obviously, we're 3 weeks down, 4 weeks down, and now it's just been announced that we're going for a further 3 weeks. So, we're all right. We're all right.
I was actually thinking about your last year. You've been busy. You've moved from Scotland down to Exeter. You played in the Rugby World Cup. You had to go through the Super Typhoon, the largest that Japan has seen in 25 years. You became Scotland captain, and now a global pandemic. How do you reflect on the last 12 months of your life?
Oh, mate, it's been hectic, isn't it? I think if you look at the rugby side of things, obviously it's been a big decision to come down to Exeter first and foremost. But for myself, Jill, and the kids, I think it's probably the best decision we've made. We get to experience new part of the world, albeit 400 miles from Glasgow, or whatever it is. But now we're loving it. And obviously it's a bit tricky being away for the family for as long, but these are the kind of sacrifices you have to make to want to be the best. And I believe I've came to the perfect club that'll improve me as a player, as a person, both on and off the field. And I'm just, it's a weird time we're living in, but I'm very much looking forward to getting back to the club and getting cracked on with the season. As soon as it's safe to do so. But it has been a hectic year, but it's a challenge, and it's a challenge that I'm enjoying.
You certainly are. And I've got to say, from a Scottish perspective, I mean, this global pandemic's affected everyone, but in terms of the form and the momentum Scotland was starting to build, it was a wonderful result at home against France. You could see the celebrations, the smiles back on the Scottish public and their faces. Slightly frustrating time for the Six Nations to come to a halt in the way in which it did.
Yeah, I think, obviously put everything aside and just concentrate on rugby for this little bit. I think now we felt we're in a very, very good place, and it's the first time in a very, very long time, if ever, actually, that we've been going down to Cardiff thinking that we can win. And obviously you go down and say, oh, we're going to win, and kind of hope for the best. But I believed in the boys and the form that we were kind of building, that we felt we were in a good place and we could have went down to Cardiff and won. But that's a game we'll never know. Obviously, by the time we come back to playing Wales, they'll be pretty much back to full strength, everybody back fit. But look, it's another challenge for us. But the biggest thing we talked about going into the Six Nations was to put a smile back on the country's face. I think we were bitterly disappointed with how the World Cup ended. But the biggest focus for us is that we can't change what's happened in the past, but we're very much in control of what happens in the future. And we felt we were in a very good place.
You've had rugby taken away from you for a few weeks now. What's the one thing you're missing most about the game?
Just being around the boys every single day and the kind of changing and banter. I guess you've kind of experienced that by moving on and retiring, but it's something that is truly unique, and you try to explain it to Jill.
Try and explain it to the wife.
Oh, mate, it's impossible because look, I'm obviously missing the boys, the changing room banter, the training to get better every single day, and when you're not with the boys every single day, it does become a bit weird, a bit frustrating. But what I have learned is that parenthood is bloody tough, and Jill can moan however many times she wants from now on, because it has been a bit challenging, but it has been pretty good as well, in a sense that you get to spend a lot more time with the family than expected, and it has been quite refreshing to have as much time at home and enjoy some company with the kids. And Obviously down in Exeter way, the weather's been good as well. So the kids have been out in the garden with Jill getting a suntan, and I've been hiding indoors, stopping myself getting burnt. But that's been fun.
Good man. You mentioned that it's been a challenging time, and of course it has been for everyone, but there are loads of positives. Spoken to a few of your compatriots, some of your colleagues. What's the one thing you've probably learned about yourself which you perhaps didn't, which you didn't beforehand?
Tricky one, that. I think the biggest thing I've learned is that you have to have a severe amount of patience, in everything that you're doing. You know, there's lots of different things happening in my world at the moment. Obviously, 3 young kids and a wife. Had my garage renovated, been waiting for deliveries of a few bits of gym equipment, and it's coming. It's not coming. When's it coming? Ugo, God knows. But thankfully, it's here now. But patience is the biggest thing, and I'm enjoying it. Like, nothing in life's plain sailing, and you've just got to take the rough with the smooth. And I guess this is the rough times, but the thing that's keeping me going is the fact that, you know, once we're out of lockdown, life goes on, and we continue.
Exactly. How are you keeping yourself mentally and physically fit at the moment?
Physically, you know, obviously we've got kind of gym programs to abide by, and you know, I'm fortunate to have my garage renovated into a gym now, so it's pretty cool. It's a place to train, a place to get better, and also a place to hide. But nah, like, it's, as I say, it's fortunate to have that, and I can just crack on with, you know, what I'd normally be doing. I'm probably training a little bit harder, and probably more so than a normal schedule would allow. Obviously weights in the morning, and conditioning of, you know, a bike, cross trainer, assault bike, whatever it may be, or a running session every single day, just to kind of keep ticking boxes and keep myself, you know, physically fresh, but also mentally fresh as well. I think, you know, it's hugely important to get some form of exercise in, and, you know, I try and start my day with a 6:45 alarm, get up and cracking on, and make myself feel like I've achieved something, you know, special first thing in the morning. I can just crack on with my day.
I've spoken to quite a lot of rugby players, and often when you're in a club environment, lots of lads, especially with kids, responsibilities at home, will probably stay for a little bit longer at the club to go through their reps, whether it's extra top up on fitness, bits of physio, all the rest of it. Is that what you're finding yourself doing in your home gym at the moment?
Yeah, I think since the kids have came along, I found myself being extra professional. As you say, you're in earlier to do your prehab. You're finishing up later because you've got all your recovery to do. And these are the things that you need to do as a rugby player, Hugo. But yeah, as I say, like with the kids here as well, I try and get into the gym, and I'm probably in there for maybe 2.5 hours every single morning. And, you know, Jill asks what I've been up to, and, you know, I'm writing everything down, but I'm just taking a little bit longer in between sets than normal. The thing I potentially have struggled with is the fact that, you know, I train every single day in the gym with Jack Noel, and to not have my training partner alongside me, it is a bit tough at times, but now look, I'm enjoying it.
Good man. I've got a few questions before I let you go, if you wouldn't mind. Hoggy, if you could choose one person to go into isolation with, who would it be and why? You can't say your wife and your kids.
But obviously, I would obviously say Jill anyway. Who'd I take in isolation with? Oh, mate. I'd probably say somebody like John Welsh. Okay. I used to play with Glasgow in Scotland. He's at Newcastle now. You've never seen a man have as many stories in all your life, and they're hilarious as well. He's
Ryan Wilson's not bad with stories as well.
Yeah, Ryan Wilson as well. But the thing is about Ryan Wilson's stories, they all revolve around him. You know, and if they didn't involve him, he's made it into him. But yeah, I'd probably say something like Welsh, as I say, is like the bigger version of Kevin Bridges, bigger in stature. But no, he's a good value. Oh mate, you caught me off guard with that one. I probably, after this conversation, have a handful of people that I'd like to enjoy a lockdown with, but as long as somebody that kept the spirits high and kept me going.
Happy days. Okay, Who's the one person you wouldn't isolate with?
Brian Wilson. 100%.
He's brilliant though. So long as the fridge is full of beers and
Oh yeah,
you got
yeah,
food.
I'll give him that. I'll give him that. Probably somebody like John Barkley as well.
Yeah.
You've never seen a man pass wind like it. And he probably sapped the life out of you as well at times. So one of those two, I'd imagine.
Incredible value. If you could replay one match again, what would it be?
New Zealand 2017 autumn tests. Special day, but it being the Doddy Weir game at Murrayfield, and he walked on with his boys before the game and presented the match ball. And there's just a feeling around the ground that day that something special was going to happen. And unfortunately, we just came up short. And we got ourselves back into the game. We were, I think it was 5 points behind going into the last play of the game, and I made a break, and Bowden Barrett bundled me into touch about 6 or 7 metres short. So if I could go back and do that again, I've watched it back many times. I've went over it in my head, even more so. And if I could have that kind of 30 seconds back, I would take that back. And if there was ever a time to beat the All Blacks, I believed that day was it.
Yeah. Does it frustrate you? Because I watched that game. It was an incredible game, as you said, right from the start. Doddy Weir walking out with his boys. It was hugely emotive. And I got to say, the Flower Scotland sung at Murrayfield is just incredible. I remember my first time I played Scotland at Murrayfield, and I'm a massive fan of the anthem. So we sang our anthem, and then we had the Scottish anthem, and you get that silence. You hear the bagpipes. I started humming it. I had to check myself and realise where I was at and what I was about to do. But it does grip you, doesn't it?
100%, man. I think, as a proud Scotsman belting out your national anthem, I think there's very little that beats it. And as you say, the second verse that we go into and it all goes quiet. It says find England moments, and I think as I say that day, the All Blacks were in town. We had the lights out for running out on the pitch. We had the haka before the game. These are massive moments. This is the kind of reason you picked up a ball as a kid. And we were very close to beating All Blacks that day.
Yeah, everyone's pretty clever after the event. Oh, you should have done this. You should have done that. Well, I thought you were brilliant.
Oh, mate, I think that's the thing. I think almost with that break, that was because I'd lost a hell of a lot of weight after the Lions tour. I was almost kind of starting to find my feet again, and almost too quick for my own good. Whereas if I was a little bit slower there, I could have maybe stepped back in and tried again. But my daughter just appeared.
What's your daughter's name?
Is it Olivia? Are you coming up?
Here we go, Olivia. Hi, Olivia.
Say hiya. But yeah, no, as a rugby player, when you have an opportunity to make a break, you back your ability.
Of course.
And I backed myself to get over in the corner. But unfortunately, I just came up short. And like the person that I am, I've critiqued myself. I've analysed it. I've questioned myself and my decision making around it. But now look, it wasn't meant to be. Another day, I'll probably score that.
Very good. Okay, we've already asked you the question, what's the one thing you miss about rugby? You said the changing rooms. If you didn't play rugby, what other job would you want to do?
Definitely nothing that involved tools. Over the last kind of 4 weeks, I've built a trampoline, a slide, a Wendy house, a set of goal posts, a gym rack. My back is in bits, mate, and my hands are blistered to bits. They're cut to bits. I'm absolutely useless. And the confession that I've got is that the reason I don't do any of this kind of stuff is because I'm dreadful at it. And my wife actually does it. There's a pink toolbox in that cupboard in the corner there. Jill's the one that will kind of do all the kind of handiwork around the house. So, I came straight out of school into rugby. So I have nothing, no skills in terms of that kind of building anything. So, if I wasn't involved in rugby, I'd probably like to be involved in property. I'm really interested in building up a property portfolio, and my mum was involved in housing, and as I say, it's something I'm interested in, and I'm looking to do some work experience on it when lockdown's over. So I'd probably say something involved in property.
Well, mate, the cash you're on, geez, that's going to be a hell of a portfolio, isn't it? Good Lord.
Go on, Dave.
I can't wait to see it. Okay, you've got 3 kids. I'm sure you've watched plenty of TV. So what's your favourite Disney film?
What's our favourite film? Frozen. Frozen. Yeah, we've been watching Frozen 2 over the last kind of week or so. And we really like it. Who's your favourite character? Elsa? Elsa? Yeah, Elsa and Anna are Liv's favourites, but we've been watching that. We've been watching Toy Story 4. And
How good?
I'm in the kid. Oh, mate, brilliant. But I remember watching watching Toy Stories 1, 2, and 3 back in the
Hey,
day.
Jill.
Hiya, I just realised I lost a child.
So we're all here now.
Hoggy was just talking about your handiwork, how you're the DIY person at home.
Oh, I like a bit of DIY.
Pink toolbox and stuff. This is actually recorded, by the way, so whatever you say is going on now.
Oh, God. I'm away then.
But not like, and you know, as soon as the kids go to bed, oh, here's Big Archie coming now.
Good lad.
You know, as soon as the kids go to bed, we've been watching Money Heist on Netflix.
Good.
Mate, we're the worst thing is now we're up to date, and there's no more episodes for however long. But mate, what a series that is.
Yeah, I'm on season 4, I think it is. Season 3 or season 4, the latest one, where I won't go into it because I don't want to spoil it for anyone who's watching this, but how clever is the professor?
Mate, the man's a genius, isn't he? And he's just so calm about absolutely everything, and until someone royally screws up and he gets a wee bit nervous. But, oh mate, what a series, what a series.
He's class, very good. Next one. If you could be a superhero, who would it be?
Oh, superhero. I've got bad memories of a superhero on the basis of Ryan Wilson was Batman and I was Robin. So a lot of people know that. Oh no, a lot of people know that story, but just search it, you'll find it. I'd probably say Spider-Man because my son loves him right at this moment in time. So probably say Spider-Man, jumping from building to building.
Yeah, I was going to say Batman's probably not that popular at the moment, is he? In fairness, considering the current situation. Yeah. Okay, I've got a couple more questions for you. Actually, no, they're all the questions I've got. That was basically it. Simple, wasn't it?
Lovely.
I think we've covered off most bases. Hoggy, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck to you and your family. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I look forward to seeing you back on the pitch, exploiting all of your traits, doing what you do very best. But for the time being, continue the great work being a hide-and-seek champion.
Mate, we're on. Thanks for having me, mate. Take care.